Hi everyone, my name is Ejiro Ikoko, and I'm a first-year PhD student, student for transport studies, and my topic is creating an inclusive mobility as a service as a solution to mobility needs of low-income women in Sub-Saharan Africa. So I would like you to imagine with me, you got ready to go to work or go for a meeting or go somewhere, and you go to the bus stop, and for whatever reason, possibly change of bus schedule or delayed bus or increase in bus fare, you couldn't get to your location. How would you feel? Okay, now possibly imagine in the situation whereby the city is much more populated, the impact of that feeling and the tendency of it occurring more frequently. How would you feel being in the situation? So yeah. So according to SAP, so they projected that in 2050, cities were populated. So for the UN, they projected that in 2050, urban cities will be more populated than rural. And for African cities, this will be much more about over 300 million population of people living in cities. And this will actually, in Africa, this will cause more problem or put more pressure on the existing transport system, which already have challenges such as congestion, poor accessibility, exclusion of some vulnerable groups. And so, for instance, women, which is actually my focus for this my research, women will be faced with challenges from fully participating in the society, so limiting their access to daily opportunities such as employment, healthcare services, education, leisure activities. Okay, women have complex trip, especially women that earn income. In this instance, low-income women. So women have to maneuver their responsibility between their home domestic responsibilities and their a place of work or place of where they earn their daily income. So in this slide, you could see we have women that are into sewing of clothes. We have women that sell on the market. We have also teachers. So low-income women can come from the various walks of life. So how do they manage the challenges, the transport challenges that occur? How do they maneuver their time between work, returning home, and also getting involved in other activities? So these are like existing knowledge on women's mobility. So in Sub-Saharan Africa, particularly in Lagos, a lot of women are involved either work or public transport, particularly low-income women, and those that do not have access to cars. So they do a lot of walking and public transport. And because of their multi-purpose responsibilities, their trips are complex, and also they also face transport challenges such as sexual harassment and also security. And we have there are some cultures whereby you're not allowed to mix with the opposite sex. So it's they face mobility challenges. So what is my research? I'm proposing MAS as a solution to low-income women mobility needs. So what is MAS? So MAS is a system that indicates different transport modes through which users can access a range of public, shared, private transport services using the booking system and journey planning system. So what are the benefits of MAS? And because MAS tends to move from car ownership to having an access to transport services, so that's why it reduces car dependency, because you can actually have access to cars, have access to public transport, have access to whatever mode of service which the platform provides without owning the means of the vehicle itself. So when you have less when people don't actually buy cars or less cars on the road, because then you tend to share, it encourages more of car sharing. So less cars on the road means less congestion. It means reduced air pollution, which increases the air quality, and also because the MaaS is mobility service, which is MaaS, provide customized mobilities. That is, the user tends to stay in their destination and type in their origin and the destination and decide which of the transport services or the modes of transport they would want to use to get to their destination. So it increases the efficiency in transport network and improve accessibility to daily opportunities such as education, hospitals, and employment. So why is my research important? So MaaS, like I said, one of the benefits of MaaS is it helps to reduce car dependency, which reduces congestion and increases the quality of air. So MaaS helps to mitigate the transport challenges in Africa, particularly Lagos, which is one of them is congestion and poor accessibility. And also MaaS will help increase access to daily opportunities, which will lead to productivity, income generation for household, thus resulting in poverty reduction, improved livelihood, and societal development. And when women have access to proposing MaaS as a solution for low-income women mobility, it gives them the opportunity to be fully participate in society and get access to employment opportunities, and also be able to balance their mobility between their work responsibilities and as well as their domestic or household responsibilities. So why did I propose MaaS? Why did I choose Lagos? Why not any other city? Why not Uganda? Why not Ghana? So for any city to adopt MaaS, there are some characteristics of MaaS. One of them is technology, because it's a digital platform, and because Lagos State is technology readiness is ready because a lot of ICT development in Lagos, the infrastructure, a lot of the users are a lot of the people use smartphones, and there are a lot of internet mags and a lot of startups. So Lagos is technology ready. Also, MaaS needs diverse mobility or transport services, and Lagos has bus rapid transit system. It has the Uber, it has the Bolt, you have the Trebs. So Trebs is like an Uber services, but this time around it's not a taxi, but it's a bus that tends to encourage shared mobility. Also, infrastructure. There's the road, internet maps, and also citizen familiarity and willingness. So what this means is that because Bolt and Uber are, you can actually use your smartphone to access them, and this is something similar to MaaS. Just that MaaS has to do with a lot of different modes of transport systems and other services which Uber do not provide. So the community or the people in Lagos are ready. Are used to something similar, so it will not be difficult to adopt MaaS for the city and particularly for low-income women. So because I'm in my first year of my research, I'm here to do my field work, but of course some of the method I would use is, first of all, my main objective would be to study what MaaS is, the different model of MaaS, and particularly in the Sub-Saharan African context, because MaaS actually was more of an European model. So you cannot expect to just transfer a model from Europe to Sub-Saharan Africa. You have to know which of them is transferable and understand which of them can actually work or possibly adapt it to suit a Sub-Saharan African context. So I will have to use literature review, document analysis, and possibly interview MaaS experts to understand what's possible, what can work, what are the challenges, and what's feasible in a Sub-Saharan African context. Also, I wanted to investigate the mobility challenges of low-income women in Lagos. So I'm looking at a metropolitan and non-metropolitan area in Lagos. So I need to use interview, possibly semi-structured interview and questionnaires to understand how they travel, why they travel, what are the challenges they face. Then I also use a workshop to explore how MaaS can be a solution to their mobility needs. So what are the possible challenges? So the possible challenges are language barrier, because I'm working with low-income women, and possibly some of them might not be educated. Some of them might actually speak their native language, so I will have to use an interpreter. Also, the time, because these women, they lack income, so they either be at a place of work or where they possibly the market. So the time to have to interview them. Then also this challenge of risks of losing data from interpreter during the interview. So I need to make sure I get an interpreter that is educated and do not actually understand what the participant is saying, so they can interpret to me exactly what is being said, so that I would not lose the data. However, the interview will be recorded and the transcribed, and then it's very transcribed in the local language first before being translated to English language. And yeah, so thank you so much, and thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Ejiro. That was really, really interesting. And as ever, please add any comments or questions on the presentation to the chat, because we have a little bit of time to follow up on anything and discuss further. So I wondered, Ejiro, with discussion around mobility as a service in the context that you're looking at, do you see phone and internet capability or availability as being one potential challenge, particularly when looking at mobility as a service for low-income women in Africa? Is it something that your research will explore about how apps or web-based platforms could be made more accessible and available to them?
Yeah, so yeah, I thought about that. Let me first start with the launch possibly of smartphones, because low-income women, not everybody have access to smartphones. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to do more research, but however, there's something I saw. I think this whereby people can actually so like using the train in UK, for example, in Leeds, you can actually buy a train ticket from your phone, or go to the train station where they have a kiosk or stands to buy train tickets. So that can be an option for people that do not have access to smartphones. So there might be like a bus stop or a public space where we have mounted a digital kiosk where we can actually buy my services. That's one way. And there's something they do in Africa. So we have phones that are not smartphones, but they call them the other, I don't know, it's called the Nokia phones, the old phones without smartphones. Still, they can actually send mass information to everybody. So that can be another way that we can look into and see how we can actually enable people without smartphone use their ordinary phones to get access to mass information.
Okay, great, thank you.